Developments in the Liam Payne case, specifically between Roger Norres and Jeff Payne. This is part 4. If you haven't seen the other parts, go back, they're just my last videos. So in the last video, we went over the finances of Liam, specifically Jeff saying that Liam had said Roger had intentions to take over Alan's position, who was Liam's accountant. Before we go heavily into something I wanted to show you, I just wanted to recap on this for anyone who doesn't know. So the sum of this case is $10 million. And estimated daily damages in excess of $100,000 per day. From the finances, I thought this was quite important to take note of. This is Jeff's statement, by the way. And I also noticed that Roger directed Liam to develop more in a business than his artistic part. The change in direction in Liam's work was not favourable for him, because he liked to do and did him good was to make music. Liam knew that I thought it was wrong for me to leave music for investments. When I met Roger, he was focused on Liam's well-being, and I believed it to be genuine. Then Roger changed his focus when he tried to integrate his girlfriend, i.e. Lula, into the circle of trust we had with Liam, his girlfriend, the bodyguard, and me. I didn't mention it, but a couple of days his girlfriend showed up at the Wellington house during the 10 weeks we were there at the cottage. Now this 10-week was part of a rehab programme for Liam. It then goes on to say, with the bodyguard, we observed and began to notice Roger, with his attitude, downplayed the seriousness of Liam's problems. For example, something minor that I remember was he made jokes about the subject in front of Liam. He then goes on to say, what I want to make clear is Roger had full responsibility for Liam's care during the last periods when at least I was not there, because that is how he assumed when he called him by his own means to help him in his treatment. In fact, it was Roger himself who decided to accompany Liam in his last stay in Buenos Aires as part of the care that he needed. So you need to consider the fact here that although Roger is saying he had no responsibility, he's not taking any blame, and that's why he doesn't want the abandonment charge. However, he has fed to Liam's family that he was taking him to Argentina. It was a good idea to take him to Argentina, and while he was there, he was allegedly being looked after by Roger. Roger was bringing in doctors. Roger was bringing in the psychiatrists, the psychologists, but he's not responsible. He then goes on to say he was together with Liam precisely to take care of him and for no other reason. In fact, he regularly reported his state of health to me. Liam couldn't be left alone, and Roger knew it. And when the care group format broke when Liam's girlfriend left, i.e. when Kate left Argentina, Roger booked Liam a room for himself, and that's how what happened. So Roger took it upon himself to book Liam into the Casa Sur, because Roger knew that the objective of the group was to keep Liam busy. He could not be left alone in the vulnerable situation in which he was. It was even a recommendation that one of the doctors in the UK had given me. So he has been told, he is aware that Liam under no circumstances must be left alone, but then decided to book him into the Casa Sur on his own and leave him. Which then sort of brings me on to the topic of Lula, because Lula has been introduced in this court paperwork. For me, clearly showing that Lula knew exactly what the situation was with Liam. She was present through the 10-week process, which is why she already had a relationship with Kate. She was introduced to that care circle, and she was also potentially staying at the Casa Sur quite secretly. Now, the real question is, are you ready for part 5? Or are you a little bit sick of me yet?